Most people think of setting intentions as sort of like a type of goal setting or resolution, something, in other words, something to strive for or to achieve. But what if there was a way to set an intention that wasn't about getting something, but rather about realizing what's already true? In non-dual tantra, this shift changes everything and it opens the door to profound transformation because it aligns you with the truth of your being. So it's more about self-realization versus self-improvement. Hey there, yogis and yoginis. I'm Lisa Witter, and welcome to my channel where we dive into how to live a Tantra-informed life by bridging the classical teachings and practices of non-dual Tantra with the realities of modern living. So if you haven't already, please do be sure to subscribe because I post new videos just like this one on a regular basis to help you live with greater freedom and fulfillment and joy. All right, so let's start with intention. Most people think of intention as something that you create an intention to get what you want, like setting a goal or aiming for something to improve myself. But in the yogic tradition, there's another way to approach intention, and it's through something that's called a sankalpa. Now, in Sanskrit, sankalpa means something like a sacred vow or a heartfelt resolve. It's not about fixing yourself or striving for something. Instead, a sankalpa is about connecting with the truth that's already here, the unchanging awareness that is your true nature and the true nature of reality. So it's more of a recognition, not a pursuit, and it aligns you with the wholeness that is always already present. So in non-dual tantra, a sankalpa arises from a very specific understanding of yourself and reality. So the view teaches us that our true nature is already whole and complete. You are not broken, you are not lacking in any way. Who you really are does not need to be fixed. You do not need to be improved because you are the divine uniquely expressing itself through this body mind, right? And the true nature of reality is awareness or consciousness, pure, absolute, unchanging, and infinite. And it is the thing within which all experiences are created and destroyed. Consciousness is the ground of all existence, seamlessly uniting everything into a single undivided whole. So everything that you experience, your thoughts, your emotions, sensations, the external world, all of it arises within consciousness in the view of non-dual tantra. Nothing is separate and nothing needs to be added to or taken away. So a sankalpa from this perspective isn't about looking for something outside of us or trying to become better. Instead, it's a way of aligning with this truth. It's about recognizing that you're already whole and complete, just as you are, and that the same fundamental power of consciousness that animates your body mind is the very same power that animates all of existence, plants and animals and humans and even the sun and the stars, right? So allowing this understanding then to guide your intention transforms how you engage with yourself and the world. So unlike traditional goal setting, which might focus on manifesting outcomes or fulfilling desires, this approach invites you to anchor your intention, your sankalpa, in what is already true, your inherent wholeness and the unity of all existence. So from this place, intention becomes a practice of clarity and alignment rather than this effort, right? So now that we've explored what a sankalpa is, let's talk about how do you craft one that's both powerful and aligned with the view of non-dual tantra, because creating a sankalpa isn't about like, oh, I'm going to brainstorm goals and figure out things and I'm going to try to, what do I need to fix, right? It's about recognizing and affirming what's already true. So here are some key guidelines that you can keep in mind. So number 1 is to root your sankalpa in truth, not desire. So a sankalpa isn't about what you think you need or want. Instead, it's about connecting with the unchanging truth of who you are and the true nature of reality. So you can just ask yourself, what truth am I ready to align with? Number 2, keep it really simple and clear. A sankalpa, it doesn't need to be long or complicated. In fact, the most effective ones are short and clear and to the point. So it should feel like a direct expression of what you're recognizing about yourself and your place in the greater whole. Number 3 is to phrase it in the present tense. So speak as if the sankalpa is already true, because from the non-dual perspective, it is. Instead of saying, I want to feel connected, try something like, I live in the awareness of connection. Right? Number 4, let it arise from stillness. Don't overthink it. Take a moment just to sit quietly, connect with your breath, and let the sankalpa emerge naturally. Let it come from this deep inner knowing, not something that you force. And then the last thing is to align it with the bigger picture. So a sankalpa in non-dual Tantra isn't just personal. It reflects your connection to the greater whole. It's not just about you as an individual, but about living in harmony with all of existence. Okay, so when you keep these principles in mind, your sankalpa becomes a living practice. It becomes a way to stay connected to the truth of your being, even as life is continuously unfolding around you. All right, so now I want to look at some examples to help you understand the difference between an ineffective sankalpa and an effective sankalpa. So this will give you a clearer idea of how to craft your own. All right, so ineffective sankalpas tend to come from a place of lacking or striving, which reinforces this idea that something is missing or broken or needs to be fixed. For instance, I want to feel more connected to others, or I need to let go of my anger, or I want to love myself. These all focus on what's wrong or missing, which subtly affirms separation or incompleteness. They're rooted in effort and a sense of deficiency rather than in the truth of your wholeness. A sankalpa, an effective sankalpa, on the other hand, arises from a recognition of what's already true and aligns you with your inherent wholeness and the interconnected nature of reality. For instance, I honor the awareness of connection that is always present, or I welcome and allow all emotions to arise and dissolve in awareness, or I trust in the completeness of my being and in the flow of life. So these types of sankalpas are effective because they're affirmations of the truth, not attempts to fix or to change anything. They arise instead from this awareness. They reflect the interconnected of all of life, and they're always guiding you back to what's real and unchanging. So once you have crafted your sankalpa, the question is, well, how do I actually use it? So a sankalpa isn't something that you just think about once and forget it, put it on the shelf to get dusty. It's a living practice. It's a way of orienting yourself in daily life and on your spiritual journey. So here's how you can bring your sankalpa into your practice. So number 1, you can start your day with it by beginning each morning by reflecting on your sankalpa, maybe saying it silently or even aloud as part of your morning ritual. So this sets the tone for the day and it reminds you of the truth that you're aligning with. Number 2 would be to hold it in your awareness during practice, whether you're meditating or journaling or engaging in any other spiritual practice. Let your sankalpa be a point of focus. So it's, again, not something that you force, but it's something that you just gently return to, allowing it to guide your awareness. Number 3 is to bring it into challenging moments. So when life feels overwhelming, just pause for a second and reconnect with your sankalpa. Let it anchor you in the deeper truth of who you are. For example, if you're feeling disconnected, your sankalpa might you might use a sankalpa to remind you that I honor the awareness of connection that's always present. Right? Reflect on your sankalpa regularly. Take time at the end of the day or the week to reflect on how your sankalpa has guided you, and notice any shifts in how you perceive yourself and your experiences. Number 5, make it your personal mantra. You can think of your sankalpa as this personal mantra, a simple phrase that you can carry with you throughout the day. When your mind starts to wander, when you find yourself caught in old, patterns or reactions, you can silently repeat your sankalpa and let it act as this gentle reminder of your true nature and the true nature of reality that you're aligning with. If your sankalpa is really effective, then the repetition of it as a mantra will actually begin to undermine any thoughts or stories or narratives that aren't aligned with it. So over time, you may notice a shift. For example, if your sankalpa is I rest in the recognition of my wholeness, then you might find that thoughts like I'm not good enough sort of just start to lose their power, because the sankalpa works subtly but powerfully to reorient your mind towards truth in transforming how you experience yourself in the world. And then lastly, number 6, let your sankalpa evolve naturally. Over time, your sankalpa might shift as your understanding deepens, and that's totally fine as long as it arises from this same place of awareness and truth. It's going to continue to serve as a guide for you. So living a Tantra-informed life really means having a clear and effective sankalpa, because it's the key to reshaping your reality. An effective sankalpa is extremely powerful because it gently but steadily reorients you to the truth of who you are and, again, the true nature of reality. I know I feel like I'm repeating myself. But by holding your sankalpa in your awareness, whether it's during those quiet moments or as a personal mantra, it will begin to realign your thoughts and emotions and actions with that truth. And over time, you're going to notice, as I said before, that old patterns and narratives that once dominated you, like self-doubt or fear or feelings of inadequacy, they're naturally going to begin to fade away. Your sankalpa creates this like a new center of gravity, always pulling you back towards wholeness whenever life feels chaotic or overwhelming. So this process of realignment transforms not only how you see yourself, but how you engage with the world, how you relate to yourself and others and the world around you. By anchoring yourself in the truth of your being, this sankalpa is going to reshape your reality from the inside out and bring clarity and presence and purpose to your life. All right, so thank you very much for joining me to explore this transformative practice of sankalpa. If you enjoyed this video and you want to dive deeper into living a Tantra-informed life, then please do be sure to hit subscribe so that you never miss a new video. I'd love to hear from you. What sankalpa are you working with? Or what insights did you get from this video? Drop a comment below and let's keep this conversation going. And until next time, may your sankalpa guide you to reshape your reality with wisdom and clarity and grace. Namaste.